Coca-Cola 600 was yesterday. And I took Ryan Blaney. Shout out Ryan Blaney. I took his more than 31.5 fantasy score. All right. Let me tell you, this dude won the entire damn thing and finished with 128.3 fantasy score. So do the math. He quadrupled his over. And Trent went ahead and paired that with Bam Adebayo, under turnovers, had 4. He was soared over. And the TCU legend Cam Norrie, more than 6.5 aces, had 5 and lost outright. So, Trent, never bet again. You rat shit gambler. Never put my cake or my quadruple over with Ryan Blaney. Won the entire race. He was in first place the entire time. Never a doubt. We're watching outside on the patio, just going, I really paired this with Trent cake? Dude, won the whole thing. He needed more than 31 points and had 128. That is crazy.
The episode he's not even on, he somehow catches a stray. Shout out Trent. Welcome back to another episode of the Will Be Seein podcast. Trent unfortunately got so sunburnt that none of his podcast equipment works, so it's just me and Chelly today on the mics. Remember, you can get this podcast wherever you get podcasts. That's Apple Podcasts, that's Spotify, and that's YouTube. Chelly, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. Had a pretty fire Memorial Day yesterday. Grilled out with the boys. Got to see VGK make the Stars and piss, which is always a good look. I don't want to start that early with the Star slander, but we'll get into it. But no, I've been chilling. How about yourself, man?
No, it was a good Memorial Day weekend. Down the Jersey Shore, got to have some fun at some old bars I used to go to when I was living down there full time. But no, I mean, I think it's appropriate to start with it because the American Airlines Center Fortress, allowed 6 goals and got shut out at home in an elimination game, essentially. So I guess you can take your victory lap now of saying that it was never the Stars, even though they made it all the way to the conference finals, but they still sucked the whole time. I don't get that team at all, dude. Fuck them.
Yeah, no, I don't really feel bad at all for them. But with that being said, they had a good season, right? But when it came down to it, they played a team who actually was a complete, well-rounded team. And we kind of saw them break down fully. I mean, before that, they played the Kraken, who, yes, the Kraken were pretty solid, gave them a run for their money, took them to 7. But, the VGK, Vegas Golden Knights, just look like they're the first complete team we've seen, and they have their 3rd-string goalie in. Let's not forget. So with that being said, you're going to play that entire series, and I don't think the Stars ever looked like they had a chance. Obviously, they went down 3-0, but even before that, like, Game 1, Game 2, even the games that they won, they won one overtime game, they didn't look like they were ever going to win that series. So I was never really worried. However, I did kind of see that game going 6 after they won Game 4. I said VGK's either sweeping or winning in 6 because Stars got a little bit of momentum there. They honestly played better without Jamie Benn, to be completely honest. He got suspended for 2 games. Guess which 2 games they won? Yeah. 2 without their captain.
And I guess now you can take your moment here to victory lap the Stars not being good, because it never seemed like they should have won any series that they won.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more.
But somehow they got to the conference finals. I think America was rooting for the Kraken in Game 7. They somehow squeaked out and winning Game 7. And then it seemed from the jump that VGK was just going to have their way with them.
Yeah. First well-rounded team that they've played all playoffs was VGK, right? Kraken kind of shouldn't even really have been there. They kind of went on this miracle run and even took them to 7. Grubauer played really, really well. Can't deny that. But, even before that, the Wild were missing one of their best players, missing their captain, Eriksson Ek. It was just really weird because the games we saw the Stars win against the Knights, they were missing their captain. And it almost makes you think, is Jamie Benn kind of holding these guys back? He didn't really perform at all during that last playoff series. And even before that, he was kind of on the cusp of being great. But honestly, Stars fans, good season though. Hang your head high. But American Airlines Center, I mean, rest in piss. Rest in piss. No, you could definitely hang your head high after that season, though. Losing the Eastern Conference Final, VGK was a better team. They had their third string goalie. Don't forget that. But rest in piss, American Airlines. We will not be seeing you anytime soon.
Yeah, no, fuck them. I'm actually kind of excited. We have a break now for American Airlines Center. And it doesn't look like the Mavs are going to be doing anything next year, so it doesn't look like I'll have to go to many games either way. It just seems like we're in a complete shit show there. But speaking of, we will be seeing. The Miami Heat eliminated the Boston Celtics last night in Game 7 in Boston. That was the game I watched. I'm sure you were watching the VGK game pretty intently. I didn't watch the VGK game at all once the first goal went in because I was like, there's no point. I'll just watch Game 7. It was one of the first NBA games, I'll say that, not that I enjoyed in a long time because it wasn't a great game. I mean, it was literally like the memes on Twitter were exactly what were happening. It was Derek White facing off against Caleb Martin. So it wasn't like you got to watch two heavyweights battle. I think Boston got unlucky that Jason Tatum rolled his ankle pretty severely on literally the first play of the game.
Yeah.
But listen, again, somehow Jimmy Butler gets his teams to where they need to be with it always feels like the lesser squad. I don't think he's ever been in a position, except for that Sixers team, where he's had the stronger squad. And this Heat team is reeking of that Raptors team that had Kawhi Leonard that went on and won the whole thing. Obviously, lesser pieces, right? I mean, it's literally just Bam and Jimmy in terms of big names. You know, they had Pascal Siakam. They had some other guys on that Raptors team, but it was really just Kawhi that moved that boat. And it seems like when Jimmy's on like he was last night, this Heat team has a chance against anybody. But I think we might see what happened to the Dallas Stars against VGK, where the Miami Heat are finally going to play a team that is so well-rounded, that has so many killers, that has so many guys that do their job at a high level that they might get swept in Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of people making that same kind of argument about the Celtics to an extent, where like you have guys who can step up in any situation on the Celtics and kind of be that similar to that Nuggets team. But I honestly want to hear what you think. Who would have a better chance against the Nuggets, in your opinion, the Celtics or the Heat to win the final?
I think it's tough, right? I mean, in terms of a better chance, when you look at it on paper, like Trent and I talked about it the last two episodes, on paper, this Celtics team is a team that wins a championship, right?
Right. But
this Nuggets team is just so hard to match up against if you don't have a really strong center. I think Al Horford and Robert Williams would struggle immensely.
Yeah.
But Bam Adebayo is kind of like DeAndre Ayton, where he's kind of a very soft center that he doesn't like to spend a lot of time down low. It feels like he doesn't throw his body around as much. And Jokic is a fucking nightmare, man. Nightmare on wheels. So it depends how Bam comes out, right? If Bam comes out ready to play, the Heat have a plan for him, I think anything is possible with this Heat team. I'm done counting this Heat team out. I counted them out against the Knicks. I counted them out against the Celtics. And now we're sitting here, and they are now in the NBA Finals playing the Denver Nuggets. And the last thing I'm going to do is say that I'm completely out on the Heat.
No, it's fair. I open up my Twitter, go through my TL this morning. Heat to win the championship, plus 1,000 slipped from a couple rounds ago. Nuggets to win the championship at plus 1,000, and I had that from 3 rounds ago. Blah blah blah. This guy just going on and on about the Nuggets. I'm so happy to have my future slip on them. Plus 400. I got the Nuggets. Blah 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 against the Lakers. I'm taking the Heat to win the championship because if I open my TL one more time and see a Nugget slip, I am going to freak out. That is all over my TL. It's May 30th today, right? Yeah. Game 1 is what, Thursday?
Yeah.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals?
It might be, it might be Thursday.
I think it's Thursday.
It might be sooner than that, to be honest with you.
Today's Tuesday, so I think it's Thursday. I think they're giving them 3 days off, if I'm not.
Yeah, Thursday, you're right. Yep.
Okay. So game 1's Thursday. I'm going to put a slip on the Heat to win the championship today because the Nuggets, they're just all over my timeline, man. And I know what this leads to. I've seen 50,000 futures bet slips of people who took the Nuggets pre-Lakers series because LeBron was never going to go to the finals, and whoever they played between the Celtics and the Heat, they were just so confident in the Nuggets. Well, I'm done counting this Heat team out. I'm on board with you at this point. I don't know what you're going to be on for this finals, but I'm going to be on the Nuggets.
Dude, wow.
I mean the Heat. Sorry, I'm gonna be on the Heat.
No, I mean, listen, I don't think there's a bad bet in this NBA playoffs anymore. I don't think there's a bad bet in this NBA finals anymore. The exact same way. The minute the Heat got by the Knicks, I got tagged in, oh my God, I got the exact matchup right of Celtics Nuggets. The Celtics in 4, Celtics in 3. So the line opened up game 1, Celtics minus 9.5. And it's the same shit, right? Game 1, the spread is the Nuggets minus 8.5. I don't know why Vegas loves giving Miami 8 points. I will say I think the freest bet might be Denver minus 8.5 in game 1 to go 7 games, then go all the way up to Denver in that altitude. I think we'll see what happened to the Knicks. I think we'll see what happened to the Lakers, where you're just not ready for the environment yet, right? By the time we're in game 6, 7, 5, whatever it is, I think your body's more well adjusted to going up there. But going from 7 games where your starters are giving you 30, 35, 40 minutes a game to go up to the altitude in Denver, who's had 9 days of rest, it might be the Nuggets minus 8.5 game 1. But after game 1, dude, I don't see myself picking a side in any game.
That's fair.
Because last night I took the Heat team total. It seemed low. It was at 98.5. And it was the only bet I wrote in the game. The only bet I wrote. And watching the game, only rooting for a team total, not like having my soul sucked by a Celtics minus 3.5 ticket or a Heat plus 3.5 ticket or 8.5, whatever it was last night. It kind of felt nice. Because I didn't feel like I was a winner or a loser, right? I was just rooting for the Heat to score the ball, which was nice. But, the worst thing is when you take the team total, and let's say you have the Celtics last night and they have fucking 66 points going on the fourth quarter. It's
really
never
bad.
So maybe game 1 I'll take the Nuggets minus 8.5, but I don't know, dude. I feel like I just can't count out this Heat team again, and I almost want to take them to do it all just to see if they can do it all.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be on that train as well. One thing I'm going to be looking at in this game 1 is the first half spread for the Nuggets, because I feel like the Heat might be able to battle back. I feel like they're all, again, never count them out. My favorite thing to do so far in NBA betting was taking the Nuggets first half spread. They were really good at home against the Lakers at covering this. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing for game 1 here. And maybe it has to do with the altitude, right? But if it doesn't, I don't care. This Nuggets team is a wagon. Jokic is going to have a triple-double in the first quarter as usual. I mean, that's just ridiculous. If you can get a triple-double in the first quarter of a playoff game, you actually – I mean, and I don't know if anybody watching this pod knows this, but I'm a Sixers fan, big Embiid guy. I don't really know what's going on with him right now. But, I mean, Jokic, by far the better playoff performer. I mean, it's kind of not even – I'm not going to – even have to debate that with anyone, I don't think. The stats kind of speak for themselves. The numbers don't lie. But Jokic in the first quarter, the fact that he can literally have a triple-double any given game, that's MVP potentials.
Potentials. I mean, it is MVP. That's MVP quality is what they call that.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, Trent and I talked about it. There is really no player that's as dominant in the game of basketball right now at every level other than Nikola Jokic. From passing, rebounding, shooting to also his defensive end. There really is no player. I thought it was Giannis. I never thought Embiid was better than Jokic. I also am now coming to realize that the NBA regular season literally means this.
Dude, they do such a bad job.
It means this, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a regular season in sports that means less than the NBA regular season.
Especially now with the play-ins.
100%. And not even from a play-in perspective. I'm talking about from a quality perspective. Teams like the Grizzlies that are first in the West come into the playoffs and get their dicks punched off by a lesser seed. Teams like the Sixers who dominate all regular season, have the MVP, come in and lose to a Boston Celtics team that has looked the worst in the playoffs.
Yeah.
A team like the Miami Heat that was literally 3 minutes away from not even being in the next round of the playoffs.
That was crazy. Down
to the Chicago Bulls are now in the NBA Finals. It means nothing. The regular season means nothing. What matters is, and I said it to Trent a bunch of times, I want to see what your opinion would be on it, because I've said it, I've said I'm sure Nick is in the back nauseous right now, what's about to come out of my mouth. Because I think you're seeing it in hockey as well. The teams that have leaders win games. It has nothing to do with the skill level on the floor if you don't have a leader. And I don't mean a head coach. I don't mean a great assistant coach. I don't mean a great, 6, 7, 8 man coming off the bench. I mean real deal leadership. And you're seeing it in the finals of the NBA. Jimmy Butler, they lose 3 straight after winning 3 straight, and he come out and have one of their best performances yet away from home. And it's because Jimmy Butler is saying, listen, I'm not going to let my guys give up. I'm not going to let whatever. Mm-hmm. The Boston Celtics had no leaders. Jason Tatum is not a leader. I've never seen that guy open his mouth once during a game.
Fair.
Obviously, he's grimacing. He turned his ankle last night. I didn't see him open his mouth one time last game.
No.
I didn't see Marcus Smart open his mouth one time. I didn't see Jaylen Brown open his mouth. I mean, Jaylen Brown was fucking non-existent, so don't even start on Jaylen Brown. But when it comes down to having a great leader, it does not matter how good the other guys are on the other end of the floor, because Caleb Martin, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, these guys that on any other playoff team might get 5 minutes a game, 10 minutes a game, believe that they are at the caliber of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown because 100%. They have a leader. The Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, that's a leader, man. You see him get pissed when they're down. You see him get pissed when someone's on their assignments. Leadership matters when you want to win championships. Joel Embiid is not a leader. James Harden is not a leader. Julius Randle is not a leader. You can go down the list of every other team in the playoffs that didn't make it this far, and it's because there's no real leadership. Anthony Davis, not a leader. LeBron James is 38 years old. He can't do it all anymore.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, not a leader. And I think in the NBA especially, you're seeing it again with Jimmy Butler going to the conference finals last year, the finals this year, with teams that really have no right being there, to be totally honest with you. And I think it comes down to leadership.
100%. I was just thinking about the Warriors. Like, who's that leader? Steph Curry, to an extent?
Used to be Draymond Green, but then he went and punched their best young player in the face, and that throws off an entire roster.
If you want to compare someone, you compare Jamie Benn and Draymond Green, because those guys both, should be captains of their team, should be kind of the most important guy, most vocal guy. They're out here doing stupid shit now. Like, come on, man, we got to be better.
And I got a couple DMs that I wanted to ask you about too, just like with that Star Series. I got a couple guys that were DMing going, listen, man, I know you hate like American Airlines Center. I know you hate the Stars fans, but why the fuck are we still playing Jamie Benn?
No, I mean, you need Jamie Benn out there.
Obviously you need him out there, but like hockey's the one sport where playoff adjustments, like they'll take a starting goalie that started all year that lets in 3 goals and put in like a third string guy like the Devils, and he'll just fucking bust, and you'll be like, all right, this is our goalie now. Like Matt Murray on the fucking Penguins a couple years ago. Like, I feel like hockey's the one sport where no one really asks questions when it works. Whereas in basketball, if you sat Jimmy Butler for 3 quarters and it worked, people would be like, all right, well, Jimmy needs to play.
That's fair. I just don't think that when Jamie Benn was missing for those 2 games that they won this series, that they kind of attributed that to Jamie Benn being missing. I think it was more that they just so happened to switch their lines, make the adjustments when he was out, and win 2 games. And then when they brought him back, they didn't really change the adjustments that they made. They just slotted him into the kind of strategy that they were using and that worked for them, which was play with 7 defensemen, 11 attackers. So they just sent their guy back down to the AHL, whoever they brought up. I forget who it was, some no-name kid who had a decent game. But yeah, no, it was never not Jamie Benn. Like, Jamie Benn was not the problem. The problem was that you're a ratchet orc. So it's unfortunate, but I'm being 100% honest.
Wild shit. I think the problem is Robertson is the most overrated good player on any team in the NHL playoffs right now. I mean, the guy shows up one game and is like doing it all by himself, and then the next game he takes 1 shot. So,
dude, it's unbelievable. I had his under the night that he took 11 SOGs. That was his personal record for most shots on goal that he's ever taken. And then he goes under for the rest of the series after that. It really, you can't make it up. You're telling me that Robertson has 1 SOG in your game 6 at home elimination game? Oh, come on, man. Grow up. Stop sitting here trying to sell me that Jason Robertson, after 111 SOG game, I think he had 1 or 2 goals that game. I forget. I think it might have been 2. Regardless, he showed up for 1 game, all playoffs. I mean, we don't have to sit here and talk about this the whole time. I know a lot of people already know this, but he went ghost mode this playoffs. Don't sit here and tell me he had 1 game where he showed up. He went ghost mode. Honestly, back to what you're saying about, there being a leader. I don't know, man. Matthew Tkachuk on this Panthers team. I have them winning the cup. I have the Panthers.
I was already about to say it's Panthers in 5.
It's Panthers and they're plus Chicky. I think it might be Panthers seed. I think it might be Florida's year.
Is it a Florida year, dude?
I think it might be a Florida year, to be completely honest. Both coming in at plus Chicky. I'm probably going to have to put some units on both teams out of Florida. I will be on VGK game 1. I'll be boots on ground in T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, which is going to be exciting. But, dude, I think the Panthers just – the reason and again, similar reason to why I'll probably be on the Nuggets first half. You just rested. I guess it's not similar, actually. But the Panthers haven't played hockey in about 2 weeks. So they're about to go to Vegas and play a series where their legs might be a little bit stiff. VGK just won a game last night and played at a high level. But I'm probably going to be on the over for this entire series, Mikey. You should get bricked up to hear that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might get bricked up.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
We should see a similar series to Edmonton VGK. All right, because the Panthers play a very similar style of hockey. The only difference is that Bob is locked right now. But I mean, we'll see how he does against this VGK team. They should get their chances. They've been pretty solid. So I'll definitely be looking at some overs in this series. Maybe not game 1 though. We don't take game 1 Stanley Cup final overs. That's a no-no.
I'm actually on the pod right now. You've inspired me. On the pod right now, I'm going to put a little parlay together.
9:30 a.m. by the way.
Yeah, it is 9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. But yeah,
9:30 on a Tuesday.
Put your parlay
plus 846. It's a Florida championship year. The Panthers to win the Cup. The Heat to win the NBA Finals. Plus 846 because the Heat are plus 330. I'm not doubting Jimmy Butler anymore. And I refuse to bet against my darling Panthers that I've started dick riding since the Devils lost. So, I'm all in on Florida to have 2 parades this year. I'm all in.
Doing tricks on it, huh?
I'm doing tricks on the Panthers, dude. Tricks on the
Chuck,
Panthers,
huh?
Dude. Yeah, dude. Chuck is a fucking bucket, dude.
He's so good, dude. He's so unbelievable. But yeah, no, that's gonna be a fun series. I know a lot of people were kind of shitting on the teams that were left. A Kane Stars final would have been the worst.
I would have shot myself in the mouth.
Would have been the worst Stanley Cup probably in the last 20 years. So we kind of got blessed with 2 of the more fun teams to watch, I would argue, in this playoffs, which is going to be VGK and the Panthers. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm actually kind of excited for this NBA playoffs again. A lot of people were writing off the Heat. What's new?
No, it's going to be fun.
No, it's going to be fun. If you had to give a series prediction for the Heat,
it would have to be in 7.
You think it would have to be in 7?
It has to be in 7.
And they have to win the last game in Denver.
Dude, they could get swept. So just keep that in, this is the only team in the West that I would be scared of if I had any team in the East playing, and especially the 8 seed that really has no real depth, playing probably the deepest team in the NBA we've seen in the past 5 years. So they could just come out here and get swept.
Yeah.
This isn't the Celtics. We knew the Celtics weren't going to walk away with it against Miami because Jason Tatum was playing like cardboard cutout half the games. Jaylen Brown was streaky as shit. We knew going into it.
Yeah. 100%.
This Nuggets team has fucking steamrolled every team they've played. So this could be Nuggets in 4. But if the Heat do it, it's going to have to be in 7. There's no other way.
Yep, 100%.
There's no other way. They have to win every single game at home, and then they're going to have to go to Denver and win 1. That's just going to have to happen. But I'm in.
I'm in too. That's plus 846 for the Miami. I guess it's not the Miami. The Florida championship lay. And we might have to go down to Florida for the parade, the dual parade that's about to occur.
Dude, if it hits, we're going down for the dual parade.
Oh, we have to.
Tickets booked now. Nick, book the tickets right now. Book the tickets right now. Speaking of tickets, this episode has been brought to you by Jackpocket. If you're a big lottery guy and you live, or a girl, and you live in a state where this app is legal, that includes New Jersey, that includes Texas, and you're a big lottery person, my God has this simplified it for you. Being home, hanging out with my aunts and uncles again, every time we stop at a 7-Eleven, every time we stop at the Wawa, give me a lotto ticket. Jackpocket takes the best part of the lottery and the worst part of the lottery and simplifies it for you. With the Jackpocket app, you can buy your lottery tickets on your phone, so you don't have to go to the physical location yourself. Jackpocket collects the tickets, keeps them safe for you, and if you win, they deliver it securely to you, so you don't have to go to that greasy 7-Eleven, and you don't have to look, what some might call greasy in front of your kids and buy a lotto ticket. Download the Jackpocket app. It does it all for you. There's an app for everything now, and being a kid from New Jersey, I already put all my uncles onto it, and they all love it already. So if you're in a state where it's legal, look up Jackpocket. If you're a big lottery guy, this could be the one for you. Listen, go ahead.
Question. Have you been to Wawa yet since you've been home?
I have. I absolutely rat fucked a hoagie.
Dude, I am down so bad. I miss Wawa so much. It's honestly like a staple of my childhood. And being in Texas, we have Buc-ee's. I have never even been to Buc-ee's. I'm done with people saying that I need to go to Buc-ee's. I know it's not going to be as good as Wawa. Wawa is the best, if you want to call it gas station food. I think it's in a different tier of its own. It's in an S tier. And then, anything else you want to, there's Quick Trip, or I don't even know what's down in Texas, but I'm never getting
nothing holds a candle to Wawa.
100%.
You go in there, the floors are sandy because everyone's coming off the beach. Yep. It's a little too cool because they pump the AC for the workers. They've got every chip, every candy you could imagine under the sun. They got the little clipboards that have from chicken fingers to however fucked up you want to make your sandwich. Like, there's just no experience better ever, and you cap it off with an iced tea. It's just, you can't beat it.
And it's honestly not like, it's pretty reasonable for what you're getting. Like, you're never reasonable. You're never like leaving Wawa like, damn, I just dropped like $15-$20 on a sandwich. It's like, no, I got a cream cheese pretzel. That's my go-to under the heat lamp, right?
Yeah, they got that heat lamp.
Oh yeah,
you don't know how long that shit's been there, but you know it's good.
No, bro. Also, you can get a banana cream smoothie, and then you add a little bit of caramel. Yeah. It is so fire, bro. It used to be my go-to until one day I was coming home from soccer practice. Made my friend stop at Wawa, got a banana cream smoothie, spilled it all over his car, and he threw my backpack in the middle of the road, and I walked the rest of the way. So,
if there was one guy that you asked me has spilt a banana cream smoothie in his friend's car and did irreparable damage, I would have guessed you.
Yeah, anytime the sun hit that seat directly, it just smelled like bananas in his car. And
that's disgusting.
It never came out.
It is so gross.
So Dom, if you're listening, sorry, brother. We'll be seeing.
Yeah, appreciate you, Dom. All right, let's wrap the show up. We're gonna do a quick common W and a cake report from the weekend, from Memorial Day weekend. And for everyone that's just tuning in, maybe this is your first episode. The common W is something that happened over the weekend, either in your personal life, betting life, professional life, whatever it is that you just want to give a quick shout out to that felt good. You got it done. My common W, I bet on the Lacrosse National Championship. It was one of the best sweats I've had in a long time. It got me really excited for the PLL season coming up this weekend. Listen, I think lacrosse is probably one of the best sports to bet on. We just got to get it out there, man. I mean, I'm watching this natty literally like having the most fun I've had in an afternoon in a long time. And then Slash, I'm going to do a double common W, got absolutely bamboozled over the weekend on the Jersey Shore. So that was always a highlight.
That's fire. No, I'm jealous. I'm going home soon. So excited to see my friends on the East Coast, but common W for me, always there for me when I need them. When the bartender comes up, asks me what I drink first drink of the night, I get a little bit nervous and I panic a little bit. Off the top of the dome, rum and Coke. So give me my common W. Give me my common W to rum and Cokes this weekend. Got me absolutely blitzed every day of the week. Kind of feeling a little bit like a D-gen saying that now. But yeah, common W is going to be rum and Coke. And then common W is going to be Vegas this weekend, because anytime we go to Vegas, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a movie. Tell Danny Mahoney I said what's good.
I will. Danny's bricked up right now.
I love that guy. Quick cake report for those of you just listening or first-time listeners. A cake report is something, it's like a thorn in a rose we do here. A cake report is something that happened that was not great in your personal life, professional life, over the weekend, whatever it may be. We got my cake report. We got a little taste, the tiniest taste. I think it was on Friday, of what the dog days of summer are going to look like, of just baseball during the weekdays. And it was fucking painful.
And I'm ghosting my bookie.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? Let's throw a couple 4-teamers. And then I was blackout drunk and not a single leg hit. So the dog days of summer are coming. Batten down your hatches.
Bro,
prepare the rifles because it's on the way.
It's so scary to think that, like, when we go out this summer and it's going to be like, I don't know, 4 days a week, probably 3, maybe 4.
Probably 4.
But we have to have some sort of lay riding at the bar just because there's going to be sports on. And if there's sports on, I have to have money on it. And so I'm going to be down so fat. I literally have been chasing all these 3-team MLB parlays. Like, I know what I'm doing.
That's what I've been doing too, bro.
Dude, it's so bad. I have to move on. But quick cake report. The Coca-Cola 600 was yesterday. And I took Ryan Blaney. Shout out Ryan Blaney. I took his more than 31.5 fantasy score. All right. Let me tell you, this dude won the entire damn thing and finished with 128.3 fantasy score. So do the math. He quadrupled his over. And Trent went ahead and paired that with Bam Adebayo, under turnovers, had 4. He was soared over. And the TCU legend Cam Norrie, more than 6.5 aces, had 5 and lost outright. So, Trent, never bet again. You rat shit gambler. Never put my cake or my quadruple over with Ryan Blaney. Won the entire race. He was in first place the entire time. Never a doubt. We're watching it outside on the patio, just going, I really paired this with Trent cake? Dude, won the whole thing. He needed more than 31 points and had 128. That is
and on
crazy.
The episode he's not even on, he somehow catches a stray. Shout out Trent.
Yeah, that's not cake. Well, you mentioned cake report and you
it's
name Booker with Trent. Isn't going to come up?
It's synonymous. This has been another episode of the Will Be Seeing podcast. We really appreciate you guys. I'll be back on the couch this week. We'll have more episodes this week from the couch. This is just a quick, middle of the week after Memorial Day weekend check-in of what happened. The Heat are going to the finals. The VGK Knights are going to the finals. We are getting very close to the dog days of summer. Lacrosse is great to bet on. Chelly, why don't you tell me where they can find you? Thank you so much for stepping up.
Of course, brother. And Trent, can't wait to see your sunburn ass in about 24 hours.
Yeah, dude. We're going to talk about that. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you're going to have to see him yourself. But you guys can find me on Twitch at ChellyGod7, on Instagram at ChellGod, and on Twitter at ChellGod as well.
Let's go. And you can find me on everywhere under Mikey Over. Other than Instagram, it's michael.j.overs. This has been another episode, and we will, in fact, be seeing.
We'll be seeing.